we can take a quick second and let's talk about our new officers. So you've got Sulu, he's in the battle pass. He's got all the events going on. Um, he's got his captain's bars on, which is his Star Trek 6 outfit, not the motion picture outfit. I mean, they did it with plural, the motion pictures. Like it's just going to be the movies kind of a group, I guess. Even though they're going to kind of mismatch things a little bit. Also, I don't know if this is a spoiler alert or not, but when you go to like the Apple Store or the Google Store to update your game, and it tells you about like, hey, V'ger has returned, and then it says join Sulu, Spock, Scotty, Uhura, and McCoy as they fight against these latest challenges. So I don't know if that's a big spoiler alert as to what the officers are going to be for the rest of this arc. If we've got another Spock, a Bones, and a Scotty coming, that'll be added to the game to flesh out this group a little further. But I mean, that was in the description. It's not like, it's not, first off, it wouldn't be a big surprise. And secondly, it's not like I'm breaking any rules. I don't know what the officers are next month, but it seems like they might have just left a little Easter egg floating out there for us. And hello, who noticed? What's up, Lube? Good to see you. Thank you very much for the raid, my friend. For some reason, if you're not already following, you should be. Lube is one of the best content creators we have. Certainly the most popular EU content creator we have. And does a fantastic job at hosting games of marbles and watching everyone die. I also mentioned G7 public arenas. It did mention that that was addressed and is allegedly a typo and was being removed from the description. But they didn't go on to say about, anything about the officers listed. So we shall see what we shall see there about that. So Sulu's abilities here, it's Captain's Maneuver giving Apex Barrier, which is great because if any of you have been using Anorax, you've noticed better results. I feel like he's been kind of crucial to a lot of people's crewing so far with testing these hostiles. The Apex Barrier does make a pretty big difference, and he can get some good synergy with this. Now it's just a one-time boost for 10 rounds, so Anorax might still come out further ahead. But this ability here as well, getting a boost to critical hit chance, might also be helpful. Getting a 10% bump for 4 rounds. Also works against outposts and the retaliation hostiles, so they did clarify that. So he could also work against a variety of things. Yeah, I think Anorax does get you further ahead. Increases Apex Barrier for 10 rounds against non-Armada hostiles. Yeah, it just says it's a one-time boost. It doesn't seem like it's like each round for 10 rounds, unless it's just worded poorly. You'd have to somebody who has him unlocked would have to show a battle log and see if he's doing it round after round after round for the first 10 rounds, or if it's just a one-time bonus on turn 1 for 10 rounds. So we'll have to wait and see more about him. But he seems like he's actually a pretty useful officer, and then he's going to partner up so far with Uhura, who does not have a captain's ability, but her officer ability, she's applying hull breach. Starting at 50%, goes up to 90% at max. And it works against not only just hostiles, but also outposts and the retaliation hostiles. So this is another buff working towards outposts that might make things a little easier instead of some of the crews where people are using, Lorca for hull breach or Gorkon for hull breach. This certainly might give you some additional options in how to crew second, third, fourth ships that you might need. So her below deck ability is giving you a bonus to isolated cascade damage up to 50% against non-armada hostiles plus the outposts and retaliation hostiles. So a big cascade bonus that Savik and Chapel don't work against the outpost hostiles. She does. And I think 50% is actually higher than either of them. I don't know if I think Savik goes up to 70%, but I think Chapel stops at 40. So, two decent officers this month. Could certainly be interesting to try and source them down. So, and she is, I think it's 3,000 per side. From what I remember hearing, I think it's 3,000 per side for synergy. So it could be up to 8,000 on this apex barrier that you're getting. So I think that there's definitely potential there. Rusty, thank you very much for the 1,000 bits. All right, I was kind of doing that through ads too. So, anyone have any questions about officers that, the new officers this month or anything we've touched on this far? Because we do have a lot of people I know are been having some difficulties today with the new hostels. I do want to spend a good amount of time going through them, but I don't want to move on too fast if people have questions about some of this other content as well. I don't want anything to get overlooked.